What's up, nerds? Gozmaster here, aka G to the 3, with another Magic the Gathering puzzle quest. Today's quest: can you break my deck, Gozmaster? Yes, I can. I'm good at breaking decks. All right, so in my last video, I put out there a questionnaire about basically featuring a deck that I built. I like getting cards. I like figuring out the best way to put together the decks for those cards. And today's gameplay is no different. I actually challenged anybody out there. Is there any card specifically you want to go? And so here's Keaton. Amazing. Thank you guys for your very clear and concise step-by-step explanation of how the combo works, the deck list, the planeswalkers usable, and finally the order they need to be placed down to work. Please do more of your videos with this style. It is very easy to understand and follow. So I love the feedback. Thank you so much, Keaton. It's really well appreciated. I said, glad you liked it, Keaton. And I asked hey, come on, give me some more, any cards you want me to focus on for you specifically. And he comes back with, yeah, here's some cards I would love to see in some deck lists. Tam, Luminous Enigma, Cathril Aspect Warper, that one's fun, and Calamax, the Stormrise. Actually, that's the fun one. I broke that one almost right away. I can't wait to show you that deck. I'll do that on the next one. And then he gave me Brokkos, Apex of Forever. Now, Brokkos is a very common card. It's not the first time I've been asked to break this card. And that one was the most challenging. So, of course, naturally, I started with the most difficult one. The other ones are pretty easy to break. But Brokkos really stunned me for a bit. So I decided, let's go ahead and do a Brokkos build. Now, this deck works with any green deck. I prefer a planeswalker that can create tokens. I also like Garruk because I can kill with his second ability. So his first ability gives me a token. His second ability allows me to help manage the opponent's side of the field and gives me a chance to pull off my combo. I don't like buried effects. I don't think they're very powerful. I haven't seen them yet be broken. They seem fair. So I categorize three deck types. There's slow, there's fair or basic, and then there's broken, which is I can go combo and win in just a couple of turns. I like breaking decks. I like combo decks that go out and win. Now this deck, the key pieces to it are Brokkos, Apex of Forever, which if we read the card, when a creature you control is mutated, the first creature with buried in your graveyard that can gain mana gains 6 mana. Mutation, this creature gets +6/+6 and gains Berserker. If this card is cast from your graveyard, it must be cast as a mutation. Here's the problem with Brokkos. If we're going to take advantage of mutation, we want to have cards that have mutate, right? If I want to take advantage of buried, then I have to, in order for this card's effects to work, I got to have cards with buried. So they conflict with each other. It's hard to balance these cards in your deck and have them win and still synergize and work well together and create combos that flourish. So, that's essentially it. Now, when I do these deck builds, I'm trying to use not such rare, overpowered masterpiece and mythic cards. So a lot of the decks, or a lot of the cards we have in this engine are in there because they do work. So Song of Creation, I know not everybody has it. It is the chase card. You need to go get that card. Whatever you got to do to go get it is the most powerful card in Magic the Gathering Puzzle Quest, in my opinion, right now. So go get it. However, this deck does not need it. It runs on a different engine. The engine I'm running is Season of Growth, Eidolon of Blossoms, Omen of the Hunt, and Titan's Nest. So Titan's Nest isn't necessary. It's not. It helps, but it's not needed. Seasons of Growth, Eidolon of Blossoms. Eidolon of Blossoms is really its own engine all in of itself. I just discovered this with the green deck, the Nissa 4 deck that I wound up building. I fell in love with this card right away. So Constellation, anytime an aura or an enchantment hits the board, you draw a card, and that card is disabled until the beginning of your next turn. Then convert 3 gems to green. So this works really well with Nissa 4. This deck is all green. It can work in any green planeswalker you have. I like tokens deck, so Nissa 4 actually works better with this deck than Garruk does. But the only reason I'm playing Garruk is because of his kill ability. Court of Calling is a pretty common mythic. Most people have it. If you don't, you should. Inside of events, you can wind up pulling this as the mythic prize. So I highly encourage you chase that event until you wind up getting it, whatever event that is. I can't remember which one it is. Omen of the Hunt is another new favorite card of mine. When this support enters the board, convert 6 gems to your planeswalker's colors. When the support is destroyed, pick one of the first 2 different land cards from your library, fetch that card. I don't run any lands, so that second ability doesn't impact me. But when it hits the board, it's absolutely good. But then when you couple that synergy with Eidolon, which converts 3 to green and draws a card for you, you have some synergy that goes with it. And Seasons of Growth, whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Whenever a creature you control is buffed with a spell, draw a card. So quickly, you draw cards. It helps keep your hand full. This can be a replacement for Song of Creation. And in addition to that, it works with tokens, so it works really, really well. Titan's Nest, it just helps to feed the graveyard for the buried effects. And then my go-to buried creature of choice is Uro. I like Uro. You draw a card, you gain some life, and once he comes back to the graveyard, he's cheap to get out. The key to this is you want to get as many creatures in the graveyard as possible that are creating the gemstone effects so that you can go get the 6 power that you need. And Reclaim. Why are we running Reclaim? We're gonna get some tokens on the board. We're gonna sacrifice those tokens. We're gonna get our hands cast as quickly as possible, and we're gonna go from there. That's it. Deathbridge Chant, I know, is a masterpiece. You don't need it. It's just really neat to get creatures back in your hand, full power, hit the board. They're running this thing out. So if you do have Deathbridge Chant, fantastic. If you don't, not necessary. You just want to fill and replace those with enchantments that when they hit the board and run the Eidolon engine, that it keeps it moving. Let's go use the deck. That's enough talk about it. Let's go kick Sarkhan's butt, at least give it a shot, and see how it fares from there. All right, if we can see any early play stuff. I see some blue and some green. You know what makes this really challenging is I'm colorblind, so the more stuff that affects the board, it makes it more difficult for me to see. So in this case, I'm going to go Omen, Uro, Brokkos. And let's see what we can get. Any cascades I can see right away? No, let's just go for what you know. There we go. That's nice. Cool. Shifted it to black. I prefer it goes to green, which is another reason why Nissa or one of the monocolor green folks is good as possible. Now, as quickly as possible, we want to get Eidolon on the board. She makes a huge difference. Let's go. Is that going to do anything? Oh, that's good. 5 free mana. Bam. Take those drops all day, twice on the Sundays. And since we're playing inside of what is this? The Rising Tensions, it gets this other stuff. I just go with the +1 bonuses just to make them a little bit bigger. And it also helps speed things along as well. Let's see. I'm at Costco. Let's see. We're going to go here. We're going to get, it doesn't matter what you give him because he's going to die right away. He just gains you some life, hits the board, dies, goes from there. 1 extra swap. Let us go. We have Uro already. Let's get Brokkos and let's go ahead and get him to, we're going to get him to, actually, I always forget I can do black here. And I swiped the wrong swipe. Swipe or no swiping? Swipe the wrong swipe. All right, so we don't need 2 Deathbridge, but we will let the machine run its deal. So I want to go ahead and get 2 Vicious Wolves out. And that way, if I draw my Reclaim, I can actually kill it ASAP and get the mana from it. All right, let's just go here with the suggested one. All right. Come on, come on. All right, there's Song. It's a way of cheating, but it speeds things up, and I really do want to move this along so we're not boring you with too long of a game. However, just know that without Song, you can still run the combo, and it works really, really well, especially if you're running the Eidolon engine. All right, next turn I should be able to start letting this thing swing for full Pete. All right, that's some mana gain for them. I don't need 2 of these puppies, so I'm going to ditch that. Is that the right order? Yes, it is. Let's go there. Watch the sparks fly. Let's see what we got. Now, Titan's Nest is tricky. With Titan's Nest, we want to mutate as soon as possible so we can get the green conversion. All right. And we're going to +1/+1. Go from there. With Titan's Nest, as soon as you can get it on the board, get it on the board. Don't worry about powering it up. Don't worry about doing anything else. Another great thing about Song is it empties your hand. Notice that I'm not running Tameo to counteract that. I want as much stuff in the graveyard as possible. So this is a great way to do that. And just to show you the synergy that happens now with... actually, I think I'm going to do this. Could have gotten one more, but that's all right. I just needed a little bit to go. So you can see the synergy between Deathbridge and we're going to go Brokkos +1. And with Uro. What do we want to do? We want to do +1. We're going to actually replace Brokkos. Why are we going to do that? We want them in the graveyard. We want creatures that are hitting the graveyard as quickly as possible so we can get as much grave gems on the board. And let's see. Nothing else hit the board that way. See what it does. All right, cool. So I get a 5 swap here with this black, and I should be able to hit the board now. Come on, where's my deal? And here's Season of Growth. That's definitely what we want to have happen. Let's actually do both of these. So we do this. So back to Titan's Nest. Get it out as quickly as possible. Every time it asks you at the end, would you like to activate the ability? The answer is no. Do not activate the ability because it's going to exile cards from your graveyard. We're strictly using it to feed our graveyard. So we could use Drowned Secrets instead of that if you don't have this card. All right, so this is good. Season of Growth. Do we have Season of Growth in there? No, that's fine. We're just going to run this anyways because we got a 5-drop. And once this thing gets going, now we want to give it a +1 in here because it makes it bigger. Once this thing gets going, there's Reclaim. It starts to really feed its own hand, and the energy and the synergy really starts to move for it. Let's go. Oh, dude, did I not crush? I did not crush. I want to try to get black so I leave my green on the board, but there really is none. So let's go a small black, or small green rather. Oh, look at that Cascade. I feel like Greg over here. Cascade like Greg, like Greg. Landfall like Greg. And so now you start to see, oh, I didn't make any matches. Come on, man. And I didn't wind up getting that thing. I should have played that deal. So now it's asking, do you want to activate and use Titan's Nest? The answer is no, because I don't want it to hit the board and eliminate all the creatures I have in the graveyard. And I should be able to fire off Uro now. Come on, man. That's the whole reason we're running this deck is to let Uro go. That kills my Eidolon, which sucks, but it E what it E. All right. And the advantage of the second one, just to kind of cheat our way through, is just say, all right, you know what, dude? No, thank you. No, thank you. We smash, and we go through here. So now we're actually going to start to see some synergy happening. Side note as well, you want to make sure you're playing your cards up top that... let's do one of these. Let's do a bigger guy. Do I have? No, I don't. Yeah, let's do that like that. We want to do that so that we can actually, we're going to do +1 so that we get 2 draws from Song to feed our top card, whatever the biggest mana card is. So it's going to double that. We're going to do +1, make it biggie big, and slow down our draw so we can maximize the mana we're getting. Come on, dude. I got no... This hasn't happened since I've started running this. Actually, I'm going to say yes this time because I want to get this card to fire off on the next turn. Normally, when this engine starts going, it just starts cascading and cascading and just landfalling simply because of the mana conversion. Oh, don't freeze on me now. All right, now we've got another one of those, and that's fine. Let's see here. And that's really one of the big advantages of Nissa 4 is when she hits whenever you run her deal, it converts 6 gems already. Makes a big difference. Makes a very big difference. Let's fill our hand up from Uros, gain some life, hit the board, finally reclaim. I mean, that thing normally is much better than this. I also experimented with running, what's the other card? Neoform. So I'd sacrifice that and go pull a card, but the challenge is we actually need to cast the cards. And because of that, we want to make sure that the cards that are hitting the board are actually cast in that way so we can get those Boros effects. We haven't mutated yet at all. We haven't done any of the things here that we've wanted to do. All right, so let's do that. That's good. Let's do... I want to end the game, but... So normally what I do to win the game is I do create improved curse prediction. Let's just go ahead and do it. Start beefing these creatures up. He's going to have some removal stuff for us. There it is. Been waiting for that. Now that we have the other card in place, we actually run our tokens. That gives us something to run out here. Let's see, what do we want to do? We actually want to get Court of Calling out as soon as possible. And frankly, we don't need another Titan's Nest or a Song of Creation, so we're going to put those back. And a Deathbridge chant. Do we even need another Deathbridge chant? How many do we have? That's Season of Growth 3. Omen is well stacked. That's out there. Deathbridge Chant looks like it's good. We actually don't need it. Let's run this out now. What do we got? Yeah, that works. Let's go 3. Okay, good. So now we should get the draw mana. That looks good. Good. Good, good, good. All good stuff. It's Court of Calling. Let's go Brokkos, because we want to mutate. We mutate. We get that on Eidolon. We convert. And now every time we hit the board, that should, let's confirm. And we're going to replace, hopefully this works. Does this work? Because we're doing the thing now. Doggy. Confirm. Now it should hit the board. So we would have had 2 Uros that hit the board if this bug was worked. We confirm it. Go ahead and update since we would have had 3 that hit the board. And there you go. So that's the way this winds up working. Not now. And between those things, now you see the synergy. Now we finally see that Brokkos is working because of the mutation. We just couldn't mutate soon enough. And now even Bolas 2 can't do enough damage to our first creature to be able to kill it. So if it dies, I think is the only way that it can flip, which I find fascinating. So we could do that. We can do this. And I have no problems doing... let's see. Let's go... we go there. That's obviously a 5-drop. I have no problems killing Uro again, because I can gain that mana. We can go from there, and we wind up just running our hand again. Let's do +1/+1. He gets bigger. All right. That converts. Now you're starting to see some of the cascades. I just want you to see the cascades that wind up coming from this. We confirm, yes. We'll bring Uro back out. That gives us some life. We confirm, we mutate him. He gets bigger. We confirm the second Uro that comes out. That mutates him again. I gain life. 1 extra swap. Is there anything here we can do? Let's go. What we want to do is we really want to run a bunch of... let's get rid of Brokkos there. We want to run a bunch of enchantments. So again, I'm just going to kill Uro again because I don't need him to win, right? But it gives me enough mana that I can start running my deal here. All right, there's that. And then that starts to cascade. That hits the board. We get another conversion. And normally it would go from there. All right, so that's how the deck plays. Longer than we wanted it to run. The challenge is, and it normally plays a little bit faster than that. The good news is with Uro's combination, you wind up getting a lot of life. So I'm at full health while he was just having plenty of time to pwn at me. I wound up dominating this first objective set because of it. And I just mastered Season of Growth. Fantastic. Is Brokkos good? I think this deck is good. I think it's good. Is it good because of Brokkos? That's really the question, right? I think this card works in this deck because of what it can do. When it goes off, it's really neat. But you're talking about a turn 7, turn 8 to 10. It's a really low tier win speed. And what power it does bring to the board, it's more supplemental to an Uro deck. So if you're building a deck that's Uro or Death Chant or Deadbridge Chant, even Court of Calling we didn't get to use enough, it may make more sense to take out Reclaim and throw in another enchantment of some type. I don't know. I think that Reclaim helps speed it up just a bit more, but realistically, when you're getting the combo to go, it can start to churn out. I think though, however, with, especially if you're going to try running this build in a Nissa build, it should go faster. The question is it fast enough to compensate for the board presence that your opponent's going to be able to get to put out and be able to defeat it? That's why I like Garruk for his ability to second tier destroy them. This deck can run any mono green. It can run any green combination, green, black, green, white, green, whatever. I would not recommend going with a 3-color Planeswalker because if you're doing that with Omen, it kind of nullifies the effect. Even with a 2-color Planeswalker, it makes it more difficult for it to cascade. You want to be a green-heavy conversion focus. That has a tendency to work a little bit better. But you want to do that with enchantments. You want to do that with not even lands. You really want to do it through enchantments, and Omen of the Hunt right now is the best for that. So in a monocolor green walker, you have the best odds of getting that done. So my friends, I appreciate you. I hope that you enjoyed this. That's how you do it. Wait till I get to Calimax. That's the next build I've got for you. I've already broken it. I'm excited to share that one with you, but I'll do that in the next video. Till then, like, subscribe, comment. They really help the engine for YouTube and any of the other social media platforms to get this message out there. We have a very small group, and I'd love to be able to share some of these videos with other folks. And what cards do you want me to break? This is my attempt at Brokkos. If you've got some cards you think would synergize better with this deck, I'd love to hear it so that we can actually go out there and improve this deck. And if I find an improvement for it, I'll wind up sharing with you guys in the future. In the meantime, like, comment, subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the next one, nerds. Till the next puzzle quest. Talk to you then. Have a good one.